Hey everyone! Today we're diving into one of the most intriguing mysteries of ancient history, the classic Maya collapse. Picture this, it's the terminal classic period, around 800 to 925 AD, and the once thriving classic Maya civilization suddenly falls into decline. In just about a century, these flourishing cities are abandoned and slowly swallowed by the jungle, disappearing from human memory for centuries. Interestingly, while many southern Maya cities faced this disaster, some northern cities thrived like never before. Regions along the Gulf Coast and central highlands of Mexico also saw prosperity. But for most of the Maya in the southern lowlands, it was a period of profound social and demographic catastrophe. So, what happened? Why did this incredible civilization crumble? Historians have been puzzled by this question ever since the rediscovery of these mysterious ruins in the 19th century. Let's explore some of the theories and facts that might explain this dramatic collapse. Early on, researchers came up with all sorts of theories, some more believable than others. Ideas ranged from disease, social revolution and drought, to famine, foreign invasion, overpopulation, trade route disruptions, earthquakes, and even hurricanes. Yet, the Maya inscriptions don't give us any clear answers. To figure this out, we need to piece together clues from what we do know. Starting in the mid to late 8th century, relationships between city-states began to deteriorate. Trade declined, armed conflicts increased, and the death rate rose. After 830 AD, no new buildings were constructed in the central Maya area, and no dates after 910 AD appear on their monuments and stelae. Large areas became depopulated, and royal dynasties vanished without a trace. This wasn't the first time Maya cities were abandoned, but it was a slow process over about 150 years, from 760 to 910 AD. Such a gradual decline rules out sudden events like pandemics or natural disasters, because populations usually recover quickly from these. Yet, the Maya lowlands were never significantly repopulated. We also need to consider what we don't know about the Maya. We lack accurate population figures for the late classic period. We don't fully understand their farming methods, how agricultural production was managed, or whether trade was local, regional, or cross-cultural. These unknowns make it challenging to pinpoint the exact reasons for their collapse. So, what causes civilizations to collapse? To understand the Maya collapse, it helps to look at other civilizations like the Roman Empire. While the differences in time, geography, and circumstances mean we can't draw direct parallels, there's one standout similarity. No single factor alone causes a large civilization to fall. Often, it's a complex mix of issues. One common thread in the downfall of many empires is the disregard of rulers for their resources and the well-being of their people. Could this have been the case with the Maya? Before their collapse, the Maya period was marked by extravagant building projects, unproductive wars, and the overuse of natural resources, especially land, forests, and water. As the population grew, the Maya might have deforested areas, leading to erosion. There's evidence suggesting they ran out of essential resources. For example, the preferred wood for building, sapodilla, was commonly used until the 740s when it was replaced by the inferior logwood. Later, sapodilla made a comeback, but the beams were never as thick as before. This change hints that the Maya might have exhausted their sapodilla supply. Did the trees recover over time, or did the Maya start protecting and cultivating them? And historians have pinpointed three main factors that likely caused the Maya collapse: warfare between city-states, overpopulation, and drought. It's important to note that these factors weren't always present together or in every city. Warfare had been part of Maya culture for centuries, but it intensified significantly before the collapse. Cities started building fortifications, and battles became more destructive. Previously, warfare often involved capturing a few important figures, but by the late classic period, the focus had shifted. Conquering territory and capturing large numbers of sacrificial victims became priorities. perhaps to boost agricultural production, gather resources, and appease the gods. The discovery of many arrowheads at certain sites shows how precarious life had become in these cities. There might have also been a military threat from foreign states. Supporting this invasion theory are archaeological finds like those at Cebu, where a figure named Huachel is depicted with a non-Maya mustache and hairstyle but wearing Maya costume. Other evidence includes stele with non-Mayan glyphs, a figure in a mask of Ahakit, the wind god of central Mexico, and fine orange pottery from the Gulf Coast. However, this evidence is sparse, and few cities show signs of deliberate destruction, making a foreign invasion an unlikely sole cause. Overpopulation could have put an immense strain on the Mayas' agricultural capabilities. Recent archaeological evidence shows that Maya cities and their surrounding areas were much more densely populated than previously thought. Scientific studies also indicate that the Maya lowlands experienced a series of severe droughts between 800 and 1050 AD. Not all cities suffered equally, as some lakes and rivers never dried up completely. However, in regions hit by water shortages, repeated crop failures could have led to social unrest. The lower levels of society, primarily farmers or even non-ruling elites, might have rebelled against the ruling class, who could no longer justify their roles as protectors and intermediaries with gods like Shak, the rain god. With the collapse of social structures and city infrastructures, many might have migrated north and south. Early colonial chronicles written in Yucatan Mayan mention a Great Descent and a Lesser Descent. Although there is no direct archaeological evidence of such a large population movement, the fact remains that after the collapse, the 60,000 square miles of the Maya lowlands were largely deserted. So, what's the most reasonable explanation for the classic Maya collapse? It's likely a mix of interconnected factors. Warfare, social disorder, overpopulation, and unfavorable climatic conditions all played a part. These factors didn't always happen simultaneously or in the same sequence everywhere, but together, they led to the downfall of the established order in the southern Maya lowlands. But here's the thing, the classic Maya collapse wasn't the end of Maya culture. While the southern cities fell into decline, northern cities and those in the highlands of Mexico and Guatemala continued to thrive until the Spanish conquest. Even today, around 7 million people in Mesoamerica speak Mayan languages. So, while the Maya civilization took a severe hit, it never disappeared completely. In the chaos and power vacuum left by the collapse, a new group rose to regional dominance, the Toltecs. They carried forward the legacy of Mesoamerican culture that had started with the Olmec, been perfected by the Maya, and would eventually be passed on to the Aztecs.